Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday morning to you. It is July 23rd, 2022, 8:58 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, I started up a couple minutes early because my guests are already in the back room. And today with us, we have Middletown Paranormal Investigations, Ronnie and Shalea, and they are some awesome people. We're going to talk a little bit of ghost hunting and all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm going to read the little thing I have to read every day for Facebook. The owner, author, and publishing editor of Nighthawk High Strangeness, aka William Nighthawk Podcast. Nighthawk by the Fire into the Red Rabbit Hole believes in good faith that it constitutes fair use of any and all content to be used for the sole purpose of informing you, the viewing family, and patrons of information for educational purposes only per Title 17 USC subsection 107. That being said, I'm going to take that off of there so you can see my bright, shiny face. Not sure how bright and shiny it'll be today. It was a long night. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Let me bring Ronnie and Mid-Atlantic Paranormal on, or Mid-Atlantic. Yeah, I'm thinking of my old group, Mid-Atlantic Paranormal Investigations, Mappy. So hold on one second. I'll bring the Middletown Paranormal Investigations on. There we go. How we doing this morning, everybody?
I'm good.
I was just going through. I haven't had enough coffee this morning yet, so I'm still waking up. It was a long night. I was on a radio program last night till probably almost midnight. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a long morning this morning trying to get going and motivated to get going this morning. So, we got my brother Tomb watching.
Good morning.
And Stuart. Oh, come on. I know there's more of you out there watching than that. Come on now. Stuart's in Texas, so you gotta pardon him. He's a little further away than most people that watch us on the morning. So he's had internet problems, but he has no idea where Middletown is.
It's in Virginia. It's about 10 miles outside of Winchester. Most people know where Winchester is, so yeah, it's kind of like describing Tom's Brook for you.
Yeah, that's true. There's Robbie. All right.
Yeah, that's the third member of the team.
Oh, okay. All right. And let's see. Yeah, he's in Australia. Tomb is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you all want to introduce yourselves and what you do and who you're with, that would be great. And then we'll just have some fun with some questions and stuff and enjoy our time.
Well, you saw Robbie pop up there on the screen.
Yep.
That's my son. He's the third member of the team. He does a little bit of camera work, and he's one of the lead investigators. I do. I'm Ronnie. I pretty much live stream with my phone when we get to a site. Set some things up for her where she does Estes method or dowsing rods or anything like that. We get into Estes method. I'll get the spirit box ready, plug the headphones into it. I'll have the blindfold ready. It's already sweeping. It's going. Volume's turned up, ready to go. All she's got to do is put it on, and we just hit it from there. So it's pretty. I try to keep things going, try to keep things smooth. So we just continue with the investigation. Not too many breaks, but we have a blast at it.
Yeah, that's the whole point too, though, is you got to, most people that get involved in it, they don't do it just for a hobby. They do it because it's something they enjoy to do.
So, we enjoy it. It's so far we've enjoyed the places that we've visited and the history that we've learned, and it's just been amazing.
West Coast Dogman Project is in the house. Hello, guys. He probably got out of his swimming pool. He was on the radio program last night with me. Shane was, and he was they were bragging about going swimming and stuff and drinking cold beer. So that was kind of depressing for me when I was laying on the couch.
Oh my
So
gosh. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can go ahead and introduce yourself, dear, and what you do and all that.
So I'm Shayla Rickard. I'm his wife. I do investigations. I pretty much get put into the Estes method, and I'm into crystals, and I usually do all the logistics. I kind of end up setting up the event and making sure we have a place to stay and all that good stuff. So
You're the boss.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that you said it.
All this was her idea anyway.
It was my idea.
Well, that's good though, because it's something that I think it's an area of study that is ever changing. With different locations and different types of activity. I mean, it's really, really diverse as far as, different situations go. And that's what makes it really, really interesting. And that's why people stay in it a very long time, So, but,
you
so
find out
I
what to do every time.
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you do find out something different and something new every time. You are absolutely right. Let me see what Robbie has to say here. I pull him up.
Some of us have to work.
Oh.
We all work.
Yeah.
We all work. So yeah, and some of the properties we go to, not only do we meet great people like yourself, but we get to experience all the different layers because we sometimes forget that property has so many layers of history to it, and sometimes we miss that. So it's good to kind of like before we go, kind of know the history and do the details and do our due diligence so we know who we're going to talk to and communicate with. So
Yeah. The history of the land is definitely, especially down around here in Virginia, because it's so. My wife and I, we call it blood-stained because of the Civil War, and it's just there's so much activity down here, paranormal wise, and in all areas of the South where there was battles and stuff too. Have you guys ever done Gettysburg?
We visited Gettysburg. Actually, that was kind of one of our first kind of, I don't know, we went to a convention, Robbie and I did, and we got to meet the guys from TAPS. We got to meet Jason and Sharon, which was kind of fun. Did a little, just kind of went through there and bought a couple pieces of equipment. That was our first time, and we haven't actually investigated Gettysburg, but we're planning on going, kind of making an appearance for the bash in August. So just to see what it's like. So, because we've never been. So last year we were in the middle of doing a fundraiser at that time because we like to do things to preserve historic properties. So we try to, if we're doing an investigation with a group of people and we have a chance to raise some funds, we try to do it to help other people. So at that point, we were helping St. Thomas Chapel here in Middletown. That was a Civil War hospital at one point. So
it's basically in our backyard.
Yeah, really. Okay, that's awesome that you guys do that. But let me ask you this though. Have you all noticed lately that within, like, say, the last year or so, the intensity level has picked up with paranormal activity?
I think it depends on where you're talking about. Around here, we've only been formally a group for a year, but to say that, looking back over, the last couple of years, to say that I never had a paranormal experience, I would be telling a fib. I walk my dog really early in the morning, and so I can kind of tell things happen sometimes to me. And again, it's just a story. I don't have any proof of it, but things happen that makes me think that you're right. Like before, it was kind of like every so often, but now I notice it happening more frequently, almost weekly, sometimes every other day.
And some of the places we've been, I've noticed some of the activity is ramped up. Some places that we've repeatedly gone, like the Belgrove Plantation in Port Royal, Virginia. We just came back from St. Albans last weekend. We were down there, and we were just there a few weeks ago, 24th, 25th of June. So there wasn't that much of a separation between it. and a lot different interactions last weekend compared to the weekends before that. And she was doing a dowsing rod session in one of the rooms, and we ended up coming up with new information that we had no idea even happened. And then talking to the volunteers and the security guards down there, they're like, "Oh yeah," I said, we've heard or felt that person there and heard that story before. And she said it's just unusual for them to suddenly open up and tell somebody else other than telling staff. So
Right.
that was kind of weird. So, but in that session that's on our page, I live streamed all that. That was a good live stream session.
Yeah, my whole point of that question was too. Also, I've been doing it for quite a while now. I haven't done the ghost hunting in a while, but I've got a lot of that in my background, paranormal investigation. But it just seems to me, I mean, are you guys intuitive at all? Are you empathic or anything along that lines?
I would say that I'm not, but sometimes I think I've denied it for so long, but the answer is yes, I am.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you're feeling a shift like that, then you more than likely are. So that's a given. In fact, I've got somebody on the chat right now, and I think she knows I'm going to point her out, Jamie, who is very, very, very gifted and talented young lady that shares her gifts and helps out and gives advice and all that too. So you might want to stay in contact with her. Jamie Whitaker is a very, very, very good friend of mine. There she is.
Hi, Jamie.
And anyways, the thing of it is that I've noticed lately is that the veil that has gotten a lot thinner. And it seems like there's more, no matter whether it's like spirit activity, elemental activity, cryptid activity, anything, any type of paranormal activity, because it's all encompassed within that group. It almost seems like the level of intensity has really escalated here lately. And I always wondered, like a lot of the cryptid sightings too, a lot of people, call them Nephilim or demons and stuff like that. I mean, when you're dealing with the paranormal, you don't typically want to like label everything a demon that you encounter.
Right.
That seems to be overplayed a lot in the paranormal field, at least from my experience. It's just, it just seems to be a lot different today than it did like 10 years ago, is what my point was on that.
I can see that. I can see that. I think for me, before we go somewhere, I always have like some type of dream, and it kind of escalates. So I have like flashes, and then I have to put the story together. I always write them. I've been writing them down lately because that helps me make sense of them. And I had one last night that I haven't even told him about, but it was pretty, I don't know. It was amped up. Like you said, it was more detail than I've gotten before. And more I felt like I was there. Before, I usually feel like I'm watching a movie, but as I move it further into the, whether it be more investigating and accepting the fact that I can do this, or whether it be what you're saying, the veil is getting thinner, I feel like I'm getting more into it. So yeah.
Now, Ronnie, with your expertise in the group too, with being an investigator, I know that you said that she does the Estes and all that. Have you ever had a chance to at least try it?
I've tried it. I don't get the same response as she has. I'm as open as I can be at any investigation, but for some reason, I don't have the same type of feelings that she has or that Robbie has. Both of them can feel and sense more. It's like we'll be standing in a spot kind of together, and they're both like, "Do you feel that cold air?" I'm like, "No, I don't feel it." They're both freezing. I'm like, And I don't know why. I mean, I want to, but I
Right.
guess I'm just waiting for something to happen to open me up more. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it. I've tried, but and I've always got an open mind when we go into an investigation because I want to experience things. And I've
Right.
seen shadows, and you know, I've walked down. It's like St. Albans going on the tour. You know, I've had things whisper in my ears. We're walking down the staircase, and I'm like, "What was that?"
Hmm.
And then you know, just different things. But to have the same experience as they do, she gets better responses with the Estes method. I mean, she can just sit there and click out sentences. I
Yeah.
did it once, and I'm like, I don't hear anything. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just hearing the white noise and the radio stations, but she's picking stuff out.
Yeah.
Another good one for the Estes method that we go with is Tyler Darnell from Covert Paranormal. He's also excellent at the Estes method. He can just pick up stuff just like that.
Yeah. Now
Those
that
those two
that
we put now.
yeah, that used to be a thing that very seldom got done. Estes was that was brought in. Oh God, probably about 10 or 12 years ago into the mainstream part of paranormal investigations, because that was literally unheard of. I mean, back then they used to take ping pong balls and cut them in half and fill them with cotton and
Oh wow.
put those over your eyeballs
Mhm.
Yeah.
and put a red light bulb in front of you
Oh
to
wow.
help you focus.
Uh-huh.
And it got real intense back in those days with the SD sessions. But yeah, I guess that I don't know why the red bulb did that, but I guess it helped you focus on one central, with your third eye, basically
Yeah.
on one location. So,
But to give
but
Ronnie credit about the Estes method, when I go under, if he's not asking me the questions, the answers don't make sense. Like, I will say that. Like, I think him and I are connected enough, and he's connected enough spiritually to whatever we're talking to, that he knows how to ask the right questions, and I respond to him before I respond to anyone else. So,
At
right,
one
yeah,
location, she had her hand. We were trying to get some type of response out of who was talking through her. And one of the other guys that was there with us, he had a glow stick put down at her foot, told her to kick the glow stick. And she's sitting there, you know, blindfolded and with the headphones. She's got her hands up on the headphones. And I'm like, just take your left hand and put it down your lap. If you're in control of her, just take her left hand, move down her lap. But the time her hand goes down or just goes over here like this. And another one we did, I said, well, just scratch your left leg. And she's sitting there scratching her leg all of a sudden. So
yeah, and other people have tried to ask me questions, and I just don't respond, or I don't get the same intense response. So I think that's because him and I are so connected, and he's really into what he's doing. Like, he's opened up himself to get those questions. So
and Robbie has a good point right there about the blindfolding trying to get me out. I'm not one of those you sneak up behind. I swing when somebody taps me out there.
That's what I was laughing about, was that comment that he put down there.
Yeah.
true
That's
story.
good. Oh,
Yeah. If I don't know you there, I'm swinging.
It is hot. I mean, yes, Jamie, I totally agree with you. It is hot. I think I put something up on our Facebook wall about having a bunch of cold spots in your house, because it'd be great right now because it's so hot outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, let's see. Anybody out there got any questions? Feel free to ask. I'm gonna wing this. But as far as your favorite haunted locations go, what would be the top 3 that you guys have done?
I would say top 3. I would say my favorite was, I don't know. My favorite was the Exchange Hotel in Gordonsville. If you've never been there, it's really cool. It was an old hospital and has a depot, and then there's just summer house. Pretty cool, intense things happen in the Exchange and the hotel itself. It was pretty cool. I think Belgrove Plantation in Port Royal, Virginia would be a close second.
Yeah.
One of the first locations I went to, and again, a really cool place. The Rappahannock River runs right in front of it. a lot of history there. It's James Madison's home place. And St. Albans would be third. I had a really good SD session with Rebecca. She was a young woman who was in the insane asylum, and she had a stillborn baby and kept it in a jar in the closet. And the nurses took it, and she subsequently took her life because of that. So that was a pretty intense SD session that I had with that. But those are my three. I mean, I just really love, and I love Virginia. Like you said, we have so much here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so many layers. I mean, it goes all the way back. So
Yep, that is true. That is very true. There was a location that I did years ago in Sharpsburg, just outside of Gettysburg. It was actually the actual road was used for the Confederate soldiers to march on to Gettysburg.
wow.
And we were doing some recordings and stuff there, some audio recordings, and I actually picked up fife and drum music, marching music, and you could hear actually, troops, feet pounding the ground,
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. I've never ever experienced that before. I mean, for that kind of intensity, that tells you alone what kind of Gettysburg results you would get if you did an investigation there. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the Gettysburg Bash that's coming up in August?
A lot of our friends are going.
Yeah.
There's a lot of speakers going. Like I said, we've never been just because it's always coincided with, it's in August and we've done some fundraisers then. But I know there's a lot of speakers coming. I know there's a chance to go to some of the locations on the battlefield. Do you know any more details about it?
Not a whole lot more. I know a lot of the people from the TV shows, Destination Fear, Ghost Hunters, those people. I think Dave Schrader's going to be there. Chip Coffey.
Dave Spinks. Dave Spinks will be there. Lon Strickler will be there, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the TV people.
Yeah, a lot of them. I can't even remember all of them. The New Jersey psychic housewife, Angela, or Bissett is her last name.
The psychic that was on Ghost of Shepherdstown, Lori, I forget her last name. Her first name's Lori. They had her on the Ghost of Shepherdstown. She was a psychic they brought in for different buildings in those episodes. She's going to be at Gettysburg.
Oh, wasn't that Tandy
Johnson? I think's her name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to college.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's going to be a big event. That's like what, 3 days up there or something like that.
Yeah, I think we might try to go up on Sunday.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have a work trip the week before, and so I'm going to be like out for a whole week. So I got to come home and do my laundry sometime. So we're going to go up Sunday, I think, and just try to catch something. Are you headed up there?
Yeah, we're going to try and go up there. April. That's it. I couldn't remember April's first name. Thank you, Stuart.
Stuart.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's not.
I mean, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, there's I think let's see, Chris DeCesare is going to be there. He's another one. Wow, I can't remember all of them, but there's going to be a ton of booth people there. So yeah, that's going to be a good time.
John Stevens on Virginia Paranormal Events. He keeps that information up on his website too. I think he's got a lot of information about hotels if you want to stay. He has some hotel links on there too. So
yeah, I used to have all kinds of information on my phone that I'd be able to pull up.
Yeah.
You take a screenshot of something and you save it because you're going to need it, and then boom, all of a sudden you can't find it.
Of course.
So
or somebody asks a question about something. Yeah.
I've got a list of all the people that are going to be there, and would you know, I can't find that list at all.
But you'll find it when you're done with this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I used to actually announce all the like events and stuff on the podcast all the time too. Um, like the Gettysburg Bash or a lot of the paranormal events, the Paracons and the Bigfoot cons and stuff like that. Yeah, I can't find it, for God's sake. Okay. Well, I'm not even gonna try. Anyways.
Our next
Anyway.
adventure takes us to a paranormal lockdown at Belgrove Plantation with Fredericksburg Paranormal and Covert Paranormal. So it's going to be like from 7 at night to 5 in the morning. So I think there's tickets still available. If you go online, you can get a ticket to it. So
Yeah.
it's a smaller group, so it's fun. Yeah.
And my only problem is I'm a poor Native American, so I've got to make sure my truck will make it there.
I hear you.
If I work overtime, I work. To answer that last question that was up about bringing something home with us.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I saw it. Basically, when we're done with an investigation, we'll have a conversation with the spirits and we'll tell them, this is your home. You stay here. You can't come home with us. You can't leave the building or whatever we're in. And she'll have some sage spray and we'll spray ourselves down, bottoms of our shoes and, different parts of us that we'll spray. And then usually about once a month, she'll sage the house. And yeah, I think we've only had a problem one time and that's been pretty much it.
Now, do you guys do anything to prepare for an investigation as far as that goes, like to ground yourself and to protect yourselves?
So a really good a person that I met through all of this, her name is Kim Sage. She's actually a Native American as well. And she's a medium, and she's kind of really helped me kind of recognize my gift and not fight it, kind of embrace it. And she and I had a discussion and I said, what can I do? And so she gave me a prayer to say before we start. I go around the building and I actually put my fingers in the ground before I go in and just kind of like get myself prepared mentally and spiritually too, because you never know what's going to happen. You really don't. So,
yeah.
And if we go with a large group, we'll join hands and we'll say a prayer before we go in as well. So that's kind of, it's good.
And I had that problem at one of the sites that we went to last year. We went to Henricus. I drove down, traffic was terrible trying to get on 95. And I hate traffic anyway. And trying to get there on time, we were late. And I was in a terrible mood when I got there. And one of the guys that was there, Dennis Eslock, he said, just go out here, put your fingers in the ground, talk to Mother Earth, ground yourself, you'll be fine. And yeah, we had some great sessions that night. Good.
Yeah, you can get a lot of spiritual power from Mother Earth, to tell you the truth.
Amen.
My people have our ceremonies are so powerful that I've done ceremony for certain people and stuff, and I've been able to actually call the wind to start blowing, or had a thunder cloud come rolling in, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of power from Mother Earth. A lot of people don't understand that, and I guess that's one reason why I'm still in this type of a field is because a while back, a couple of years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I had my esophageal cancer. And I had an 11 centimeter mass on my esophagus, and I was choking on water. That's how bad it was.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, I went through the radiation, chemo, and all that, and got it shrunk down to have it removed. But they had to remove my esophagus and made my stomach my new esophagus. Anyways, to make a long story short, that I guess that's why I'm still around, because I was given like 6 months to live, and that was over 2 years ago. Going on 3 now, and so the Creator's not done with me yet, and when it comes to basically working with people in the paranormal field, whether it's scripted or not, I always try to tell them that there's so much energy in Mother Earth, and just like there is in water, and everything has energy, and everything that has energy can have portals open up on them, and everything that has energy can develop into something if it can manifest itself. Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, Mother Earth. I mean, there's a difference. I mean, with even with the like the cryptozoology field, with the study of cryptids. Um, I tell everybody all the time, on the podcast that you got to understand that mankind went to the way of technology, but all the animals and the cryptids that haven't been discovered yet stayed with Mother Earth, and they developed that spiritual power, just like the native people did, back in the day. And that's how they're able to do certain weird, strange things out in the wilderness that nobody else can do and figure out. But yeah, that's another reason I say that things have just gotten completely heightened up lately,
Yeah.
with the escalation of all the paranormal activity, because you're seeing so many different cryptid creatures now, and so many other locations that are coming up to actually being experienced as being haunted. It's amazing. It really is. It's an amazing field to be in. Like we said earlier, it really is.
And
Go ahead.
I think climate change might have a little bit to do with that too, because I mean, it's getting a lot warmer around here than what it used to be. Our winters are not what they used to be. A lot more thunderstorms through here, and thunderstorms are going to create more activity in any building you have.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
And I think that whole thing with the Mother Earth you said is so true. My kids, when they were little, they would joke and say, "Oh, you want to kill a plant? Give it to my mother." If you go out my backyard now, I have this garden with so many herbs in it that I'm giving them to restaurants in the area because I can't use them fast enough. And I attribute that to the fact that I've just connected more. I'm really big into the moon. I love when the full moon comes out. I am whatever pigment that Native Americans have in their skin, I have the complete opposite of that. So I burn in the sun. So when the moon comes out, it gets me excited and it gets me hyped. And I notice that I'm very succinct into the moon's phases. So I think that's what now my garden, I mean, I can't even tell you how my peppermint is like almost the entire raised bed garden. It just keeps growing, and I can't attribute that to anything else other than I have plants that have lived for years. That's not me. That's just not me. So it had to be something connected. And I'm also into crystals a lot. I mean, I think people need to understand those come from the earth as well. They have a connection spiritually. And if you study them and you look at what they can do for you, it's amazing. They're mentioned in the Bible. I just read Revelations, and the new temple that God builds, he uses crystals as the pillars. So you learn so much from that. And people, it's not a fact that you're replacing earth or God with the crystals. You're complementing, and you're saying that that's part of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's funny that you say that too, because I've done a lot of studying on a lot of the old missing texts from the in chapters from the Bible, because we all know the King James version is an incomplete Bible,
right?
But I've studied the Book of Enoch, the Book of Mary Magdalene, the Book of Thomas, the Book of Judas, the Book of Jubilee, all of them, and it's amazing the information that has been kept out of the actual Bible that was removed back in 412 AD. I think it was removed.
Yeah.
And, it's literally amazing because it talks in those books, those missing books, about how you have to almost have that spiritual connection internally and that connection to everything around you in order to basically feel the grace of God. And it's just, it's amazing. It talks about, how basically it talks about meditation. It talks about the repetitive thought process. It even, the Book of Enoch talks about, Enoch going into a spacecraft and going up into space. I mean, there's so many different aspects of the books that are missing from the Bible. It's really interesting. So that's incredible that you actually brought that up, because it's something that a lot of people really don't know. And if they just actually read some of the older books that you can find them on YouTube, they're all over the place. You can a Bible that I've actually been interested in getting and keeping would be the Ethiopian Bible, because it's the one. Yeah, it's the one that has most of the books that are missing in it. And they say that Ethiopia at the one church that they have the Ark of the Covenant, that remains to be seen. But I mean, there's just a lot to the Bible. I think that they should have never removed any of that out of the Bible. I think they should have left it all in there and just let people make up their minds on what they want to do and how they want to pray to their God.
Amen.
So.
I just think that religion is just the way you want to tell God, however you do it and however you want to do it. Now, I was raised Catholic, so I didn't get a Bible in my hand. We got our missalette in the church, and it was the part that the priest wanted us to know about. And I was the inquisitive kid who got in trouble with the nuns all the time because I was always asking questions. I still do that to this day. Like, I want to know, like, if you're going to give me this much, I want to know what's under here. I'm going to ask the questions. And I think maybe that helps me when we go to these investigations, because when he asks me a question, going back to the Estes method, when he asks me a question, I am literally, I can't hear him, of course, but I think the spirits know she wants to hear what we have to say. Say it, give her everything, because I just really want to know the whole story. So even if it's ugly, I want to know it. So
yeah. And Jamie's saying she does Reiki on her plants because there's so much energy. So.
Awesome. I just planted we went to a clinic in North Carolina, Throwback clinic, and it was haunted, and they had this gentleman had this nursery next to it, and it was kind of cold still, but they had these not so good looking plants, and I brought one home thinking it was a yucca plant, and it wasn't. It was a spider plant. So I found a yucca plant online. I just planted it, and Jamie, you gave me a hint. Maybe I need to go out and line its Reiki, because I love it. I named it Gomez, and he's not doing so hot. So thanks for that advice, Jamie. I think I might go out and do that.
Yeah. Jamie is a wealth of information to have at your disposal. She really is. She's like she's basically my go-to person. She knows she is.
I love it.
Yeah, she's awesome.
We all Kim Sage is that for me. Like, I'll ask her some random questions, and then we were at Bella Grova for Memorial Day weekend. They had Sage Paracon. MJ Dixon came over from the UK, and she went to St. Albans, and I swear when she left, she had written down a bunch of names. And when we were at the Bigfoot conference with you, I talked to one of our friends, Don Sullivan, and I told him, I said, look, when MJ was at St. Albans, did she get anything on like a Eleanor Rose? And he looked at me and he goes, you need to reach out to her. So right before he went to St. Albans, I sent her a message and I said, hey, MJ, I know this is a long shot, but did you pick up on anything when you were over there? And she sent me back the wide emoji, and she goes, I wrote down that name. So I think I still have unfinished business at St. Albans, because I haven't located that spirit yet. But I'm hoping MJ comes back from the UK and we can go together and maybe find her. So that was pretty cool. So yeah. So Kim Sage and MJ are my go-tos. But Jamie, I can feel it. I think you're pretty cool too. So
yeah. Now I know Estes has done a lot, as far as having you guys being connected like that. Because honestly, I mean, even just talking to you both, I can see that there's like a spiritual conduit that's connected to you both. So I can understand how the Estes works that way with you. But Ronnie, what is if you had to choose a piece of equipment that you could rely on the most and get the most authentic paranormal activity out of, what would you say that would be?
Would be the dowsing rods.
The dowsing rods?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, explain for people that are novice at the dowsing rods. Can you all just kind of go over that?
My
with them?
grandfather taught me how to use a pair of those a long time ago when I was little. And I really didn't understand a whole lot about it then, but I mean, you use dowsing rods to find water. When our house, well, I still live with my parents, was built in '74, he took them over and he found the spring that was there. So we have water. Now you can use dowsing rods to communicate with the spirits. What we do is we walk into a room, and if it's really dark and I've got my camera on, Robbie found some glow sticks on Amazon. They fit on the end of your fishing pole. I'll put glow sticks now on the end of the dowsing rod. So if it's really dark, people are watching the live stream, they can see the rods move.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
But we'll try to get a connection. Are there any spirits in the room? If there are that want to talk to us, cross the rods. If they cross, we'll tell them to reset back out to neutral. And we'll go from there with questions. And yeah, we'll have some really good sessions. I mean, the reason I like the dowsing rods is she uses them. I used them. Robbie's used them. She's had some good sessions at the Exchange Hotel talking to a little girl named Emma. At the end of the night, she says, well, Emma, it's time for us to go. If you would like for us to come back, she said, move the left rod out to the staircase. And I was like, no, Emma. I said, if you want Shayla to come back, I said, spin the rod all the way around and touch her on the arm. Well, and it's on live stream. It's on our page. The rod goes all the way around, smacks her in the arm, bounces off.
Huh.
And
that is incredible.
Talking the other night, we were trying to decipher at St. Albans if we were talking to a male or a female. She said, if we're talking to a female, have both rods spread out to the sides. And both of them moved outside. That's when we realized we were talking to a female. And that was, and I asked her, said, were you female that was beaten? And she goes, and she crossed the rods. What were you beaten with? Belt, just throwing things out there, and rods crossed. So just stopped there because she said she'd gotten beaten with a belt. So it wasn't used to go into anything else. She might have had other things, but just getting that little bit of information and trying to find out more. But yeah, now if the rods sit there and bounce, we'll try to reset the rods a little bit. We're not getting any action, or they're stuck, or something's keeping them from communicating. And we'll try to reset and go from there. But yeah, I like the information we get off the dowsing rods. I like the reactions and the interactions we get from the dowsing rods.
Oh, that's really cool. I never even thought about that with the glow sticks. That is really, really cool.
I say Robbie came up with that idea, so I don't.
Yeah. Got to give him some credit since he's a tech. So
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I think at any level, everybody who does this wants to get the Class A EVP. We struggle with EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because we don't have the right recorder. We're just not open to that yet. But I think I kind of listening to us. We go back to the dowsing rods a lot because it's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people call that old school, but it works. Yeah. It works really well. So. Communication for us works really well with the dowsing rods.
Yeah, take it from an old Indian. It does pay to go back to old school.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It does.
Yeah.
So
I
definitely.
Those. And I enjoyed watching her and the Estes method. And like I say, both methods, I'll either live stream. If I can't get a signal on the phone, I'm going to video it. So I have the proof. I'll put it up on the page, and there's proof that both of those will work.
Awesome. How do you guys feel about because I know that there's some people out there that like to do this, but I don't personally do it because I don't like to offend anybody. But how do you guys feel about provoking?
I personally I kind of think about it, and again, because I think who kind of mentored us through this, I think about when I go into a location as going to somebody's house. So
Exactly.
if you had invited us over, I would not want to come in your house and be like, yo, come on, what are you doing? Talk to me, hurry up. What do you mean you don't want it? Come on. Like, I think, and even getting more erupted. With that being said, we did go to the cabin on 360 in Mechanicsville, and I was getting a little frustrated. We were down in the basement, and I'm not going to tell you the word I used, but I was a little quit being such a little baby is probably a good way I said it. And I kind of said it a little forcefully. And then I realized, I was like, whoa, where's that coming from? So in answer to your question, that was a long way to say, I think that brings out just a different side of a spirit, just like it would bring out a different side of a person who is living.
Well, exactly. And my whole theory on that whole subject is, you got to understand that they're human beings.
Mhm.
You know, they were in a body like we have at one point or time, you know, and you gotta give them the respect that they deserve, because they've lived in this body, and now they're into the next, you know, stage of life. And, you know, you don't want to, it's just like you said, it's like going to somebody's home and demanding, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And it's just to me, it's very disrespectful. I don't know how others feel about that, but I'm sure we'll see in the comments. Let me see here. What's Jamie got? Seems like they would be easier to speak. Yeah. Okay.
Politeness is always, yeah, Stuart. That's a really good way to say it. Yeah. I'm just not a fan of, like I said, I'm just not a fan of being ugly to people. And, you know, I was trying to explain this the other day to a friend of mine, because she asked me, she's like, don't you get scared? Like, don't you ever like get fearful? And I said, honestly, like the other night I got fearful one time. And I don't know if it was because of what was happening, but I was really tired, and like we were in this really dark location, and like my eyes were playing tricks on me, or something was actually happening. But I usually don't get nervous, just because, I mean, I try to be respectful. And even if I know it's somebody who, when they were walking this earth in their earthly body, that was not a very nice person, I still try to be respectful to them, because if they want to communicate with me, I want to hear what they have to say. So.
Jamie's talking about glow sticks and things like that. I just want to show her exactly what it is we use. Here's our dowsing rod, and on the end of it, I put a glow stick on it. It's just so you can see the tip of the dowsing rod.
So you can see the direction that it goes.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's all there. The glow stick is. It just clips on. And it's like they go on the end of a fishing pole. So and they fit perfect on the end of these. So yeah, they work great. They work great.
It was really funny. One of the trips we went to St. Albans, we got to be in a group with a lady who had never investigated before, and she was probably in like her 60s, I think. Mm-hmm. And she
nothing wrong with that.
No.
Exactly.
I just said it was her first investigation, and she was an older lady. That's all I was. Mature lady. She's not old. So we gave her our dowsing rods, and like they started to move, and she was with her sister, and she's like, Katie, do you see them? And her sister kept going, are you moving them? And she's like, no, I'm not. They're working. She was so excited. So to see somebody else get excited about something like that, like, I feel like that's just like the coolest thing ever. Like, you know, you asking us to come on this show and sharing what we do, like, I love doing that, because I want other people to question and to look and to seek and to find the answers to some of these things.
And we'll debunk as much as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was going to be my next question.
If we don't think it's real, we're going to do our best to debunk it. We're better debunkers than we are because one of our motto is, without proof, it's just a really good ghost story. That's something she came up with last year. We've got it on T-shirts. We've got it on our business cards. And I'm about to trademark that thing. So.
Get it, trademark it and patent it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what we go by. Without proof, it's just a really good ghost story. So we try our damnedest to get proof on everything we can. If we can't, then it's like it's St. Albans back in June when we were in one of the rooms. Now I've got the camera going up and live streaming it, and someone's walking out of a room, but all of a sudden I see something moving across the screen. It's a light, and then it goes up. And I'm like, now, is that a reflection from the flashlight? Is that something in the room that we captured? So we're sitting there looking at it over and over and over. And finally we decide, and I put up on Facebook, that's reflection. That's all it is. It's nothing else. It's nothing paranormal. That was reflection. So we'll beat it to death till we realize that it's nothing. If it is something, then we'll say it's something. Yeah. But we have to have the proof of it first.
Yeah, I forget who it was. There was a program. I don't know if it was Ghost Adventurers or Ghost Hunters or one of them guys. Might have been one of Jason's groups, where they caught a alleged full-bodied apparition in a hallway, and it was the younger ones in the group that captured it, and they took it back to I think it was Jason, but they took it back to him, and he reviewed it, and he looked at it, and he said, no, he said, that's not a full-bodied apparition, and it looked like somebody was standing there. It really did, and it was a cold shape too. So I mean, anybody would have thought that. Yeah. But here down on the bottom right-hand side of the floor was an air conditioning vent. And the vent was open and the AC was on, and that air column that came up, the cold air, silhouetted like it was a person standing there. And I mean, he debunked it like that. I mean, it was really good to see that done. So but that's a lot of times you get more answers by debunking it than you do the other way. So
absolutely. And I literally had like an hour discussion with somebody the other day about this too. I went over to Front Royal to a friend of mine's office, and she's in an old building, and the basement is really weird looking, and she doesn't like to go down there. And so I came back up, and she said, did you feel or see anything down there, Shayla? And I was like, no, there's nothing down there. Like, I'm not really sure why you're scared. And she said, well, and she started to tell me the story. And in my head, I was like, it's the heater, or it's the hot water heater, the noise she was describing. But what I said to her was, I was like, when you go somewhere and you think it's haunted, let's just say there's 10 instances. 7 of them can be explained away. The other 3 we live for. We live for those 3. So, and I think we've always done that. Like, we've always tried to say, like, is this really paranormal, or are your eyes playing tricks on you? Are you tired and you see things that are really not there? Like, it happens. We're human beings. So we have to just kind of like take it for what it is. And let's face it, there are people who think we're nuts. I mean, they think we're crazy for doing what we're doing. Whatever you do, whether you chase UFOs or you look for Bigfoot or you hunt ghosts, whatever you do, there's somebody who thinks you're nuts. Yeah. So we have to say, here's the reason why we think this is true, and here's some other stuff we know is not true. So we know this is not an exact science. We're all learning as we go.
It's like I told John Stevens last weekend at St. Albans. I've done a lot of things through my life, going to races, NASCAR races and things like that. Since we've started this is the most fun I've had doing anything. I really enjoy doing this. I look forward to our next trip. It's like I say, I'm looking forward to next weekend. I mean, it's 10 hours at Belle Grove Plantation. Have you
ever been there?
We enjoy investigating that place.
We've been to Belle Grove, my wife and I, but we have never investigated there.
But you've been to the one in Port Royal or the one in Middletown? Because Middletown is just a museum. Ours, they won't let you go in.
This is the one in Port Royal.
Oh, okay. No, we've never been at the one in Port Royal. No.
That's the original one. That's the one that James Madison grew up in. The one that we have is his sister Nellie and Major Isaac Hike, they built this one.
Yeah, Major Isaac.
She just named it after the other one so she'd have something to remind her of home.
Yeah.
So
but this one's right on the Rappahannock River. Like the front of the mansion is like right on the Rappahannock River. I mean, and when we get there, I love standing out there and just listening to the water move, and I can feel it. I can feel it bringing stuff in with it, and it's amazing. But yeah, it's just a really cool place. If you've never been there, I highly recommend trying to get there sometime, because the history in the building and the history around it is so cool. Like it's just unbelievably cool. So all the things they've seen and heard, and our friend John Sullivan and Tyler Darnell, they're both there all the time. They do the investigations there, sometimes on a weekly basis, and they find new spirits and new stuff all the time.
They travel in on the river.
Exactly.
They flow down the river with it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it's a bed and breakfast, so I mean you can stay there anytime too. Tyler's mother runs it as a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and we've stayed there. We've stayed in the Madison room. Back in January, we stayed. She walked in the room. There's the rocking chair just moving, and I'm like, seriously, I got to sleep in this room tonight.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, there's so many cool. I mean, and see, that's hold on. Let me. Oh well, I'm just gonna throw it on the floor.
I like to do that sometimes too. Except they're so expensive nowadays. You can't do that. Remember when you could get the satisfaction of hanging up on somebody? It's not the same just hitting end call.
Yeah. Well, I called this one salesperson back yesterday. I actually called them back. And I said, this is so-and-so. I said, I'm returning your call. And then she started to go into the spiel about life insurance and all this. And I'm thinking to myself, okay. I said, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you give me your home phone number and I'll give you a call sometime later tonight. And she's like, well, I can't do that, sir. That's not allowed. I said, then quit calling my phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't like it done to them.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
So, but what was I was gonna ask you guys something too before that happened, and I can't remember it now. Yeah, I mean, sometime if it's not too far away, maybe the wife and I could join you guys on an investigation. It's been a while, but
yeah, we love it.
It'd be kind of cool. So
yeah, definitely. We'll stay in touch, and we'll definitely go somewhere. West Coast Dogman Project.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some new equipment coming in. We're pretty excited about to try. I agree with you. We are doing this for us. Yeah. I do agree with that. I don't really care what other people think. Like, to be honest with you, people has called me all kinds of things, but I think my biggest thing is we need to preserve our history in this country, and we need to use our paranormal investigation to do that a lot of times. And we use it when we connect to the spirits. We feel like we'll go down a rabbit hole. I mean, like if I get a name, we'll go research it and try to find out where and how it's connected. And I think that is part of the reason why we love this so much, because we love history and we love preserving all of it. And so if we can't tell the story and we lose the story, then where's it going to go? So,
right.
And they just look at me like, what? Like, you're sitting in the dark talking to people. How is that preserving history? It is.
You should hear how people react when I tell them my history. I mean, they literally don't know whether to run and hide or just basically don't believe me. But as I was telling Ronnie earlier before we came on the air, I told him, my mother was a black witch.
Wow.
So, and being Native American and being into the black magic is not a good thing. There's not a good, it's a connection to the medicine, the spirits around you, and the power but it's the negative connection. You don't want that kind of connection.
Mhm.
And that's what brought all kinds of paranormal activity to our home and our property.
Wow.
And when I was growing up, I mean, I saw everything from elementals to little people to shadow people to Bigfoot to Dogman to UFOs to aliens. I mean, you name it. I saw everything.
All on
And
your property.
all on the property. I mean, they talk about Skinwalker Ranch being bad.
Mhm.
Skinwalker Ranch had nothing on the place that I grew up in.
Wow.
To this day, the guy that actually bought the property, I'm not going to disclose where it is. To this day, the guy that bought the property has this huge cross at the end of a hallway where we always had problems in the hallway with hooded, cloaked figures, no feet, no arms, and you couldn't see their face going
Wow.
through the kitchen into the hallway. It was a ranch style house.
Yeah.
And we had an artesian well in the basement, if that gives you an idea.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Anyways, make a long story short, he's got this huge cross at the end of the hallway, and he still to this day swears up and down that that house is alive.
Wow. So it has its own
yeah,
heartbeat.
Mhm.
yeah, and that's that's the way I felt too. That the house and the property was alive.
Mhm.
And because with the artesian well in the basement and stuff, and it was always kept without a cap on it. There was no cover on it. It was always open, and it was always creepy going down there as a child. And in fact, I had this one time where my dad actually lowered me down in the well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was like 10 years old, and he lowered me down in the well to get the pump out because the pump quit working. And anyways, I get down there and it was chained onto the wall with rope and a chain. And I get down there and I get it unhooked, and something grabbed my ankles and
Oh,
pulled me
God.
under the water.
Oh,
And
wow.
thank God he had enough sense to have a rope around me, and he reached down with his one arm and he grabbed me by the strap of my neck on my shirt and pulled me up. But yeah, that's just one of the things that I've had happen to me on that property.
That's
And
intense.
let me tell you, that well was such a conduit for the weird and bizarre things to come out of it. It was not good. You
Wow.
talk about a portal or a doorway that's opened, and I guarantee that doorway is still open there today. Because
Yeah.
I guarantee that well is the heart of that house. I guarantee it.
Well,
So
there's a building here in town that I'm not going to say its name. It has a well inside of it. It used to be, before they expanded the building, it used to be the town well back in the early 1700s. 1740s is when the well was dug. And that was the town well. Now it's enclosed into part of the building, has glass over top of it, a couple lights. But yeah, it still has water in it, and there's a lot of activity in that building.
yeah, there's there was so much activity there growing up. It was
Do you know
I'm
if
I'm
they've
actually what's that?
Do you know if they've covered the well up now? Like, is it still? Do you know if they covered it up?
Honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't know. You could cover it up with concrete, but you still wouldn't take the heartbeat away from that house.
Oh no, I was just curious.
It's-
Some people, like, when they have those problems, like you say he's describing, like they think of anything to make it go away, or so they
Yeah.
think it's going to go away, and
Yeah.
they would cover it. So I was just curious because some people will go to that extreme where they'll try to cover it. So
Oh, let me see here. I'm trying to read these comments too.
I know.
Jamie, you are something else, kiddo. She writes a book, but then she gets the short answers too.
Yeah. The portals. Yeah, we wish sometimes we could just like nail them shut, but I really don't think that's possible sometimes. So
Yeah, especially. Have you guys ever done like cemeteries or anything like that?
I mow one. That's about as far as we get.
So he mows one, and I sometimes help him with weed eating. And I was there a couple weeks ago, and guys don't do it now, but like older men when they used to wear Old Spice and like take a bath in it. So the wind kind of shifted, and I was like downhill, like and I was like, I smell Old Spice. I know he doesn't wear it. So I was like, where's it coming from? And so he came over to me. He's like, "You're right." I was like, "Yeah, I smell Old Spice." He's like, "Oh yeah, it's so and so up there. He probably wasn't wearing it."
Oh man.
And I keep telling people, my grandmothers both lived well into their 90s, and they both wanted. Well, my one grandmother expressed it. I'm sure my other one would have. They both wanted to live to be 100. So that's kind of like what I want to do in respect to them, because I had mad respect for the both of them. Mm-hmm. So I took a break, and I just happened to be sitting in front of this tombstone, and he comes up to me and goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm taking a break talking to Ida. Yeah, she lived to be 100. She's going to tell me how I can do this." And so I was like, that's weird that I sat right there. Like, is that, was I really connecting to her? Like, but as far as actually, taking equipment into a cemetery, I'm not really sure how I feel about that.
Do that or not.
Like, again, it's a respect thing. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
That's where your energy is. That's where your energy was dispersed. I mean, everybody has energy in their body. I don't believe spirits stay here. I think your energy stays here. Yeah. So.
And I do that cemetery because a lot of my family is there, and I'm just trying to keep it to where it looks nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, my father's there, my grandparents are there, my great grandparents, great uncles, great aunts, cousins, whatever. I mean, yeah, they're pretty much all there.
And believe me too, they probably notice it too. So I mean, they just because they're not in this body doesn't mean they don't know what's going on.
Amen.
So,
yeah.
But that's one thing I've definitely found out doing the paranormal over the years that I've been in it. It's been great talking to you guys. It really has. I gotta have you guys back on.
Yeah.
But if anybody out there has any more questions and stuff, just
let's hook up sometime and you can come on an investigation with us. We'd love to do that with you.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, the wife and I would love to do that, I imagine.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's find some time to do that sometime.
But I'm going to be a little busy here this week. I got a lot of writing to do. I'm trying to get this book put together on how I grew up and stuff. And
cool.
I've got a friend of mine that has a publishing company that's going to try and publish it for me.
Nice.
That's
exciting.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time though. I'm not much into the writing and stuff. So, but it's coming along. It's not bad. So he'll probably tweak it till it's better. But there's just a lot of weird stuff. So a lot of weird stuff.
Of mine to write a book. I would love to write a book. So I'm a little jealous you had time to do it.
Yeah, that's all I've got is time right now. So, it's been great, guys. I really appreciate you coming on, and we got to have you guys on again, okay? And we'll get Robbie on here too sometime, and put him through the old meat grinder and get his interpretation of things.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Until then, if you all ever need me for anything, feel free to give me a shout, okay? And we'll continue to hook up on Facebook and all that and chat, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
It's been great, guys, and I'll definitely have you guys back on, okay?
All right. Take care.
See you.
Take care. Well, everybody, it's been an awesome hour. I had a couple really great guests on. Let me tell you, they are awesome people. They are just very knowledgeable for as short of a time that they've been involved in it. But it's like I said the other night. It almost seems to me like they did their research before they went in both feet, head on into the paranormal field. And if that's one piece of advice I can give everybody that's thinking about going into the paranormal field, is please do your research, try it out. Don't go full feet into it, diving into the water without checking the depth. Okay. Just basically got to watch out for yourself. Make sure you're protected too when you're dealing with the paranormal. Make sure you're grounded. You have some way to cleanse yourself, knowledge on that, knowledge on certain things to protect yourself, because you're going to come across virtually every type of entity you can think of, in the whole spectrum of paranormal when you're dealing with stuff like that. So, I want to thank everybody for being here, and I want you all to have a great weekend. Okay, tomorrow morning we're going to have a UFO topic, UFO and aliens, and I'm going to disclose to you some information about when I was growing up about the UFOs and aliens on our property. So until then, I want you guys to have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:00. And always seek the truth, guys. Okay? Always seek the truth. Okay? You take care.